When I was little, you knew who the good guys were and who the bad guys were. I was born in the last years of the baby boomers, which was the early 60s, and we were called boomers and we boomed because the soldiers from World War II came home and started families. All at once, it seems. I learned that the soldiers were good. They protected us. The government was good, as was the church. And our small-town cops and big city policemen, all good. Later, Hollywood began to show us movies with dirty cops, corrupt governments, and soldiers who killed the innocent. Real life seemed to follow in its wake. On November 18th, I had a vision of a woman's fingers cleaning out the mouth of a baby. The baby was dirty, with either soil or ashes, I couldn't tell, and I didn't know if the baby was dead or alive. I also saw a man in a black and white helmet, about in his 40s, no glasses or shields on the helmet. I didn't know if he was a military pilot or a motorcycle driver from down the street. He could have been anyone. In the middle of these visions, I was given a song by the group Leland. I could hear the song and the lyrics, but I didn't immediately know what it was. Upon getting up, I found the song was called How Wonderful. It's not the hymn that you're thinking of, so I'll put it in a YouTube video link on a link here in a moment. I contemplated and prayed about the vision for a while, and I'll get back to the song here in a minute. Other things came to me, and I researched them as well, things that seem to be pointing to war, to civil war. I believe this type of war will come to all nations, not just the United States, and even then it will be a different type of civil war. Pardon me. I had 3 more visions on November 28th. This first one was interesting, and I wish I could have done my cut and paste picture, so at least you'd have a picture of it, but you'll just have to imagine it. I was in my house looking out my window, exactly like you see now, and there's a road which is just covered with the shadow. I saw a black van driving slowly past my house, from the left to the right. On the side of the van was the phrase, Gunman 101. These were in white letters, very easily readable to me. I did not know if the people in the van were good guys or bad guys, and I did not see them stop in my driveway. I was inside my house, like I said. And the next vision was that I saw people sitting in a bomb-type shelter. Now, these shelters were prevalent in the 60s. They were referred to as bomb shelters. I know people have them in their ground today. They're preppers and just all kinds of, I think you get the idea. And it looked like, a cement wall behind those people, so it could have been a basement. They were very quiet. They didn't look very alarmed. They weren't screaming or running about. They were just quietly sitting. But as the vision faded, I heard babies crying. Okay, so lastly, I saw something else in front of my house. Again, beyond the bird feeder. I didn't see the bird feeder in my vision. I just saw these. First I saw the black van, and then I saw a white truck this time, like a pickup truck, only with a cap in the back, and the cap had 2 windows. The white truck turned directly into the middle of this field in front of me, across from the bird feeder. That's how I knew it had 2 windows in the back, and started to drive down the field. In real life, this wouldn't be strange even if it happened right now in this video, because the farmer of this field lets hunters in to hunt for deer. I don't know if the driver in the vision was a hunter, but I did feel he was going back into the woods, as you can see back there, and even to the left. We see deer in the field, we see coyotes, foxes running across. It's quite interesting living out here. So that was the end of the visions. Now, I've been praying about this one every day. I started to get the understanding that it was about the coming war in my nation as well as others. The Gunman 101 truck reminds me that there will be people out there that own guns, maybe tons of guns, as we just saw in some of these shootings. They are not the government or the military or local law enforcement. They are preppers and bomb shelter owners and hunters and people that just want to protect themselves and their loved ones from the bad guys. They were driving slow in this van, so I didn't know if they were coming for me or not. As I prayed each day more fervently that God would show me exactly what He wanted me to see, I distinctly felt it was related to civil war. But here's the thing. God seems to give me just one more insight into these visions rather than the obvious. In fact, I am learning that I am looking too obviously at times. For example, in my tower's vision, I saw the Eiffel Tower and a guy in a mask. I assumed the guy would blow up the Eiffel Tower, yet I now believe God was showing me what would happen in Paris, exactly 3 months previous to what had happened. So I'm no longer looking at exact answers, but rather patterns and parallels. So in the case of the Civil War, I was not sure of that yet, so I asked God if this was what he was pointing to, if he would please show me the words Civil War on TV or something just very obvious. That is how I relate to things. I'm almost black and white, which is part of my interpretation problem and why I continually pray to him. He needs to show me. I can't go to a person to help me. I can only go to God. So I know that PBS has many TV shows like this, so I thought, okay, if this is what it's about, I'm going to see one of these coming on TV. I do not have cable or satellite TV. I almost never watch TV, but I do have a TV Guide app, and so I looked at that. Didn't see Civil War coming up, so I just kind of forgot about it. I can be pretty dense at times. Here's why. Here's the confirmation. Last night, our daughter was visiting. She is turning 33 on Monday, which is exciting to me because that's the same age that Jesus was, but beside the point. So we were watching the trailer, the movie trailer for the new Captain America movie that is coming out May 2016. We were watching this on YouTube with my husband. Now, Captain America is a good guy, and he was seen fighting Iron Man, who is another good guy. In the movie trailer, that's what we saw. My husband said he would not go to a movie where two good guys were fighting each other. I felt the same, but of course, a trailer does not show you the entire story, and the movie is a long way off. It's next May. So this morning, while pondering my visions, within 1 minute, the Lord wrapped everything up for me. Just like a download. I just needed to wait on his timing. Are you ready for this? The name of the Captain America movie is Civil War. It had been in my face all week as I had been talking about it to a coworker as well. It was so obvious that I missed it. Then the Lord also gave me the instant download of this extra insight that I told you I seem to get with these visions. And that is that those left behind, or even before the rapture, or later, much later after, when there may be babies again that are born, they will not know the good guys from the bad guys. Now, this is not true of the bride. Don't misunderstand me. But the people in the black van could very well be bad guys out to steal the food of those people that live on their own, or they could be my neighbors down the road making sure we were okay. Just because they're in a dark van does not mean they're bad or good. People simply will not know. We are now calling good evil and evil good, so you will not be able to know a person's heart by what you see. You can't now. We have come a long way from the Civil War in America that started 100 years and 6 months exactly before my birth. God is showing us that people can trust no one. He is showing this to us now, and he'll be showing that to people later. Hopefully they will know this and not be fooled by the Antichrist. The only person you can trust is God. He simply will be the answer to everything. The song that was given to me, sung by Leland, is in a link here in the transcript. When you listen to the song, there is praise and worship to God. The lyrics tell us that he saves us by his grace and that he is closer than a brother, and people will need that in those end times. These days, some of our good guys are no longer good, and some of our bad guys aren't so bad after all. It's all about the heart, and only God can see that. So we and those that will be left behind must trust him to show us the way, his way, because truly there is no other way to follow.